Hello, to continue with our iteration plan. So we finished iteration 1 on to iteration number 2. Here is our iteration plan. So we completed iteration 1, setting up the project and planning, and we are ready to move on to iteration 2, displaying a single code. So again, following the three-step app development process, we start with problem formulation, then solution formulation, then the solution implementation. Remember, in these iterations, every iteration acts independently. It's as if we're creating an app and we are blind or not aware of what's before and what's after. So what's the scope here? Display a single code. That is the scope. So I want an app that you open it, there's a single code right there. And here I'm using begin with the end in mind as that single code. How are we going to test this? It's simple. You open the app. There should be begin with the end in mind in there. Observe the layout, the colors, and everything like that. So that's the scope. So we move to the step number 2, solution formulation. We follow a design pattern called model view controller. The model is the data, the view is the interface, the controller is the instructions and the logic or the brain or the intelligence of the app. The model here, we want a single code, so it's a text. We said we're going to be using in previous iteration, and we're going to do it again in view. We're using a UI label, which is user interface label, which is a component that we add on the view or on the user interface, and it has a property called text, and that property can hold a sentence or what we call in our app terms or software terms a string. So we can use that to enter the code that we want to display. Then in the view, we will add one component to the standard view that comes to us with the app template, the single view template. Add a UI label and adjust the size and the color, the background color. In the controller, I want the app to just display that label, and the label will have the code in it. So no custom control is needed. The default behavior of the view and the controller are sufficient for this iteration. Then we move to the solution implementation. What are the steps that we will follow? We build the project, which we already done in iteration 1 using the single view application template. Then adding the UI label component and adjust the layout. And you will see that because there are multiple devices with multiple sizes, the layout has become very complex. And if you want to build something that works with every single device configuration, which ultimately what you would want to do, however, as we build your experience, we may not use the full features of the layout at this time, but maybe in future projects. So we will spend a lot of time talking about these different layout options. Modifying the text property in the label to reflect the code we want to display, and then run the app, and don't forget test it. So we run the testing scenario to make sure the app is fulfilling and is completing what is intended to do. So that completes our iteration number 2. The next